Alrighty. So today I want to share with you what I call the enhanced covered call strategy. And it really came about because early on when I started selling covered calls, I've kind of faced a predicament, a dilemma, if you will. And I'm sure you have faced this as well if you've been selling covered calls. And the dilemma is this. So let's say we are interested in buying Amazon, and Amazon, we think it's at a good price. We think we want to buy at this price. So we say, all right, we're going to buy 100 shares of this. Now, instead of, just being a traditional buy and hold investor, right, we want to be a savvy investor. So as a savvy investor, what do? Right, we sell a covered call. So with a covered call, we're going to receive an income while holding on to this stock until it eventually goes up higher, right? So when we sell a cover call, we'll be receiving this premium. As you can see, it's $1.74, which is $174, and we sell it at 135. So 135 is a pretty decent place to sell because it's not too near, all right, to the current price, and it's not that far away that we don't get enough premium. So we sold at 135. Now the dilemma is this, right? So we have a covered call, but on the other hand, we have a stock, right? So our mindset right now is that we do want the stock to go up, right? So because we have a stock, we want the stock to go up. That's how we make money on the stock. But on the other hand, because we have a covered call, we do not really want it to go up so much, right? So we have this sandwich mentality right now. I call this a sandwich mentality because we're squeezed in between this area right here. So we are sort of like telling ourselves, I want Amazon to go up, but please go up slowly. I want it to go up slowly so that when it reaches this point, just stay there for a while until our covered call expires. Then you have my permission to shoot back up, right? So this is the kind of mentality that most people have when they start selling the covered call, because they kind of hope that it does not go past their strike price. And if it goes past this cover call strike price, they kind of panic because they see their cover call is losing money and they think, what's happening? What's going to happen? So this is the mentality which we have if we sold the cover call. Now, on the other hand, if you didn't sell the cover call and if the market went all the way down, then you will be telling yourself, I wish I had sold the covered call. Damn it, why didn't I sell the covered call? Because if I had sold the covered call, I would at least receive some money to cushion the downfall before it eventually comes back up. So this is the sandwich mentality that I call. So this is kind of a little bit of the dilemma that people who are selling covered calls have. So during this time, back then when I sold this cover call, I kind of asked myself, is there a way that I can improve my psychology when I sell the cover calls? Because I do want the stock to go up, but then again, if it goes all the way up too high, I kind of start to feel the regret of selling it. So I asked myself if I could incentivize myself, what is a way I can incentivize myself to say, hey, I'm okay if the stock actually goes past my cover call, and in fact I want it to happen. Right? So the way to incentivize myself is if I told myself that, I want to get paid even more if the stock goes above and have my shares called away. So how do you do that? So the way to sort of incentivize yourself, right, for the stock to go past your cover call strike price is to actually to buy a bull call spread. So a bull call spread very simply is just buying a call option at a lower strike price below your cover call, and then selling a further out of the money call option, and you can sell it exactly at the strike price of where you sold the cover call in the first place, right? So you can see you're using the premium from the cover call to finance the purchase of the bull call spread. So this way, this bull call spread is 100% free, right? So how does the bull call spread work? So it works is that if anywhere where the stock goes to above this long call leg, we will make additional money, right? So that is how I thought to myself, if the stock is to go up, I don't mind it going all the way back up, because as it goes up, I actually make more because I have this bull call spread. And when you use this to finance this, you combine this together, it becomes what is called the covered call ratio spread. So this is just a call ratio spread, and it's a covered call ratio spread because you have 100 shares on it, right? So if the short call get exercised, your shares get called away. So you notice that if you route this covered call ratio spread, you actually also get a credit, right? Because the bull put spread which you bought is lesser than the premium which you receive for selling the covered call. So this way you actually receive a credit in case if the market actually just goes down, right? So if the market goes down, right, it's not like you get nothing. You still get some money, although it's not as much as the covered call. But if the market goes up, the stock goes all the way up, suddenly I don't find myself, thinking to myself, say, please do not go up, please stay below the strike price. But instead, I find myself thinking, yes, I want it to go up, because if it goes up, I make the full profits on this bull call spread. And at the same time, it's still possible that if it goes up, I could sell away the bull call spread and then roll my cover call up again. So this way, my shares, I still keep it, and then I get the full profit on this bull call spread, right? So let's go through a few scenarios to compare both of them, right? Let's compare the cover call with the cover call ratio spread and determine which is better. Okay, so the first scenario is if Amazon is below $130 at expiration. So below $130, that's below our long call leg of the the bull call spread. So anything below here, let's see what happens to both of them. So first of all, for the covered call, it expires worthless, right? So if it expires worthless, we get the full credit, $1.74, which is $174. All right, what about the cover call ratio spread? So the cover call ratio spread also expires worthless, and we only receive the credit, and that is $43. So as you can see, we do receive some money, but it's lesser than the cover call if you were to just sell the cover call by itself, right? It's lesser by about $131. All right, so this is for scenario one. Scenario one, we would have been better off just by selling the covered call. What about scenario 2? Now, scenario 2 is if Amazon is in between $130 and $135. So this is in between our bull call spreads, right? So how much does the cover call make? So the cover call, again, makes $174. There is no difference between what you make for the cover call because it just expires worthless. It doesn't go above 135. What about the covered call ratio spread? So the covered call ratio spread really depends on where it closes at expiration. So let's say if it closes at $131 at expiration. So in this case, the covered call ratio spread, the profit is you take basically the price where it closed at minus off the long call leg at $130, so that's $1, and then you add the credit which we had initially for selling this call ratio spread. So the total is $143. So as you can see, it's actually not much difference to if you sold the covered call just by itself. We just have a difference of about $31. Now, what if it went higher? What if Amazon actually went up to $133? So if it went up to $133, the profit is 133 minus $130 plus the credit. We sold it again. That is a total of $3.43, which is $343. So now, wow, you see, we made more than what we would have if we had sold the covered call just by itself, right? So we made almost double the profits, right? And the cool thing about this is that our short call, right, the cover call which we sold at, was not breached. That means we still hold on to our shares. So we hold on to our shares and we have an additional $343, and at this point we can sell another covered call or another covered call ratio spread. So if the stock went up to 133, then the covered call ratio spread would have been better than just selling the covered call. Now, what about if Amazon actually went above our cover call strike at 135? If it goes up there, what happens to both of them? Right, so first off, the cover call, it would get exercised, and our profit, again, it doesn't change. Our profit is just simply the premium which we sold it for, which is $174. So now we want to calculate the effective exit price, because remember, we assume that we bought it at this price, which is at 122.42. Now, if we exited at 135, which is where our shares got called away because of the covered call, we want to add the premium which we receive, right? The profit. So it's $1.74. So that means our effective exit price is $136.74. So this is the effective capital gain on the full position, or as though that we just bought our stock right? Without the covered call, this is where we would have exited to match this profit. So it's $136.74. Now, what about the covered call ratio spread? So the covered call ratio spread, right? First of all, the profits, we would make the full profit on this bull call spread, which is $5, right? The spread is 5 points, so it's $5, and we add on the credit, 43 cents. That is a total of $543. So this is significantly more than the credit which we would have received if we just sold the covered call. So what is the effective exit price? So effective exit price is we take 135 is where we had our shares called away, and then we add the profits of $5 for 3 cents. So that gives us an exit price of $140.43. So check this out, right? It is so much more, it's higher than at 136.74. And here's the thing, right? So let's say, for example, Amazon actually went up to, let's say, 137.50, and that's where our cover call expires. So this is where it got exercised, right? So at this point, if we had a cover call ratio spread, we actually had a better exit price than if we had just, held on to the stock. If we held on to the stock, our exit would be 137.5, assuming we exited at this price during the options expiration date. But had we sold the covered call ratio spread, right, our effective price is actually higher. So that means we actually gained even more rather than just holding on to this stock on its own. So as you can see, if the stock went above our cover call strike price at 135, let me just remove this. If it went above our cover call at 135, right, the covered call ratio spread would have done much better than the covered call. So you might be wondering to yourself, after I've showed this to you, which is better, right? Should you go for the cover call or should you go for the cover call ratio spread? So the answer is this, right? Listen carefully. The answer is it depends, right? So it really depends on where the stock actually ends up, right? If the stock goes below and both expires, both less, then of course the cover call would be better, right? Because you'd be getting more. But if the stock actually went up, close above our 135, and we would have our shares called away, then it's of course better if we had sold the cover call ratio spread, because we made more and our exit price would be higher. So unless you have a crystal ball, right, you know where the price is going to, and if you really do, please contact me, I'll buy one from you, right? But if you don't have one, then you want to choose the option strategy, either the cover call or the cover call ratio spread, the one which you feel easier for you to take in the psychology. Because remember again, if you were to sell the cover call by itself, you will have this sandwich mentality, right? This sandwich mentality is you're telling yourself that, I want it to go up, but please don't go up so far, so high, just wait until my cover call expires, then you can shoot up. All right, so that's the mentality with the cover call. But with the cover call ratio spread, I would tell myself, if it's going up, I would say good, continue going up, because I would be compensated for this move. If you go up, I will get an additional $5, right, on this bull call spread. So at the end of the day, it comes down to also your psychology on which one you feel more comfortable, right? So you just need to understand the trade-off between the two. If the market goes down, then of course it is better to sell a covered call by itself. But if the market was to go up and you're afraid to have your covered call breached, then it would be better to sell the covered call ratio spread. And again, remember, even though you have the covered call ratio spread, and if it goes above your strike price, you can always take the full profit, or rather most of the profit of the bull call spread, and then you can roll your short call option out and up in time, right? So this way you can continue holding on to your shares and still make quite a good profit on your this bull call spread. All right guys, so I hope this video has been helpful to you, and if it has, I'd appreciate if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel as well, so I can create more videos like this for you. And as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and may the options favor you.